So let's say someone is in their club championship, they have a tournament, they do something like this, they are winning, and then they just hit like a really, really big miss hit or like a double bogey or worse. What would you tell someone to kind of reset after that hole? Anything you would do or have done in any of your pro or USGA, any of the big events?
Well, I mean, that's where the idea of meditation, which, I obviously talk about all the time, you're not going to magically not get pissed off. And so, I posted this the other day and it really resonated with someone, so I'll go ahead and say it again here. But like a meditation practice is preparing, this is a Sam Harris thing. I always feel inclined to quote it as much as I can, but is preparing for the worst day of your life because it's coming. Like you, Michael, have a really bad day coming and you don't know when, but it's going to happen. And so you spend your entire life for this one moment just so you don't make it worse. I mean, literally. And
Hmm.
because it might be a moment that if you make it worse, you or someone you love could die. Just as an extreme example, personally, my worst day, was when my sister and nephews were in a double murder suicide. And I was only about 2 years into thinking a lot about Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins and a little bit of meditation and whatever. So I wasn't fully prepared for it, but I was more prepared than I would have been 3 years earlier. And at this point now in my life, I am fully like if the, I don't really care what the worst thing, like let's say one of my kids died. If you're watching, girls, sorry, but um, I just it would be suck, but I would also be very focused on what would they want me to do with my life. Be really sad and again, I'm not saying it'd be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but you do have to compartmentalize, man, that sucks. But as far as they know, nothing happened. They're dead. So yes, it's too bad they didn't get to live their life. And again, I'm trying to make the most extreme example physically possible here. But for me, the only thing I'm longing for is to talk to them and everything else, and just wishing they could have had the life they could have had.
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe their life would have been a total train wreck. Like maybe that was a reasonable outcome because the world's going to get hit by an asteroid in 3 days, or just whatever. And so it really is club championship now being less of an extreme example. I can sit here and dwell on what happened,
Yeah.
or what would the guy who was completely calm on the first tee, what would he have told you? All right, dude, hey, you're gonna make a double. You're gonna make a 7 on 13, Rory. How are you gonna handle it? Well, can I not make a double? No, no, no. You made a double. How are you gonna handle it? Well, I'm gonna try to be composed. I'm gonna try to move forward. I'm gonna try to leave that in the past. So, I mean, again, it's the idea that wisdom is taking the advice you would give somebody else. What is the advice you would have given yourself knowing what was coming? Again, you don't get to change your kid dying. You don't get to change making a 7 on 13. How do you want to handle it? Well, can I cry? You
Mm.
can. Is it really going to help you? Not really. So just that's really again what I think. So your question of what can they do? Well, they need to be preparing for it. It's not
Mm.
it's not magic. Because if you're not prepared with some sort of a plan, you're probably going to get pissed off. You're probably going to get emotional. You're probably going to start chasing, and you're probably going to play the last hole 6 over instead of 2 over and winning your B fly to the club championship. I mean, I just believe that's a
Mhm.
fact.
Yeah, that's a really good perspective to have that preparation. Like you said, most people are not doing a lot of the mindfulness stuff you and I've talked about in other episodes, and a lot of, the Sam Harris of the world have talked about. So yeah, it is about preparing for it because, like you said, it is unfortunately an inevitable at times.
Well,
So obviously he,
we all treat problems like anomalies. Again, just I literally
yeah.
just quote Sam Harris nonstop on this. So if you ever heard, oh, it was a Sam, like I'm trying to say it. We all treat these problems like anomalies. The Tiger Five. I played 8 rounds of Champions Tour qualifying school. The Tiger Five mistakes: bogeys on par fives, doubles, three putts, blown easy save, bogey inside 150. The relatively basic mistakes that we all make, I treated those like anomalies when I was playing professional golf in my 20s. So when one happened, I got pissed off.
Mhm.
Why did I do that? This sucks. Well, in the 8 rounds of Champions Tour qualifying, I had 20 of those mistakes. So I averaged 2.5 per day. It's not surprising when one happens.
Mhm.
And so the real point of meditation, the real point in my mind of peak performance from a mindset perspective is knowing and being prepared for these things that are going to happen. It's really funny. Tiger just keeps staring at me from behind your shoulder, like, damn right, man, keep saying it. But that's what that guy did. Everyone,
Yeah.
everyone, when I talk about like not getting mad, for me, getting
Hmm.
mad is not good because I just implode.
Hmm.
Everyone always says, well, Tiger got mad. I'm like, he did. And everyone's got like the 30-second rule or the 10-step rule or all these. So I can be mad for 30
Mm-hmm.
seconds or 10 steps or whatever it is. And it's like, okay, well, do you actually do it though?
Mm-hmm.
Are you actually not mad after 10 steps?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this just something you tell yourself, yet
Mm-hmm.
you keep on a little bit down? I've realized for me, I can't get mad at all. Like I just have
Mm-hmm.
to laugh from the moment something bad happens because it's just going to implode. Tiger, because he meditated basically since birth because of his mom's Buddhist background. Tiger for sure is able to get as mad as anyone out there, and then it is over, and he is
Mm-hmm.
moving forward. He never hits the next shot with any emotional attachment because of the prior shot, and that
Mm-hmm.
is so hard to do, especially in it's easy when you're just a an old dude like me playing 20-30 Hammer Wolf, and you just lost a couple $100 because you did something stupid. All right, well, I can stay mad because it's no big deal, but out there in the heat for a major, it's a bad idea unless you want to
Mm-hmm.
get thrown back in the fray real quick.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. It's kind of like preparing for it, like off the course. I like the 10-second rule for me, and but I've started doing it off the course. So I had a car issue. Normally would have been really pissed me off. I allowed myself to be furious for 10, counted that thing down on 11. I was like, all right, let's figure it out. Let's, get into solution mode. So again, I think it does come down to preparation. I think can help. And obviously
I like that
he
get into solution mode. I like the way
you know what I
I
mean?
like
Yeah, I remember
I like
Tony
that.
Robbins had a quote like spend 5% on the problem, 95% on the solution. So it's like, most
Yep.
of us get a problem and we just dwell on it. It's like, listen, I like when my girlfriend comes to me with a problem, I'm like, okay, here's the problem. Here's how I'm going to fix it. She doesn't, I'm not as good with being compassionate about the problem. I'm like, let's fix this thing. So I'm fixer mode. Obviously, Rory fixed it on the back nine.
But
Any
that's also
hole.
why guys have a lot of issues in relationships with females
Yeah.
is they come to us with the problem like, cool, let's fix this. I
We're
just want to be
yep.
mad at something for a second. I just need to vent. Like, trust me, there's as many times for my wife as she comes to me to just unload and vent, and then I start trying to fix. She's like, I don't need you to fix this, man. I'm
Yeah.
CFO of a home builder. Like, I know what I'm doing. I just need to get
Mhm.
this off my chest. Like, okay, I'll just sit here and listen. Then I'm sorry.
Yeah. I got to get better about that, Scott. So maybe when I'm the elder Scott over here, I'll be able to get that. So compassion. All right, we're getting
Yep.
life advice, we're getting some relationship advice. What about the last few holes out there? Anything stuck out to you on